Hi, yeah, so this is an introductory video for all the other videos that are going to follow in this SAT tutorial. So, welcome to the SAT. So, why should you listen to me? So, who am I as such? So, that's me over there in the left, yeah. I do have a bit of spots, yeah. So my name's Aryan, I'm 16, I currently live in Mumbai, India. Prior to this, I lived for roughly 15 and a half years in Dubai, which is in the United Arab Emirates. And I have worked on a number of things prior to this. So currently I'm conducting research into NLP, which is natural language processing. It comes under computer science with the University of Mumbai. I have organized a TEDx Youth Conference at my old school. I've organized the first home MUN conference at my old school, namely Simon. I've made an award-winning flood indicator. When I say award-winning, that's just a way of saying it won in several inter-school and the national level science fairs over back in Dubai and in the United Arab Emirates. And I've worked with Dubai Customs under the IPR department, which is kind of trying to promote and protect the rights of creators and innovators. So I've worked in many things earlier, and when we look at my SAT story or my SAT story, so I scored a 1570 on my first attempt with about a week of practice. Now, just because here, I just want to say, just because I made it in 1 week does not mean everyone has to be able to do it in that time. In my first diagnostic, I got a 1510, which was a really good start, if I had to say so. And that meant that I knew that I could bump my score up in a relatively short span of time, while using the other time which I would have been otherwise using for my SAT to work on other projects. But I really recommend, if you are not if your first diagnostic is nowhere north of a 1500, I really recommend you do spend more than 1 week on your SAT. Do your first diagnostic well before before the SAT date you want to appear on, and if that's above a 1500, you can register and push your actual preparation dates way forward. But if it's lower than 1500, you might want to plan accordingly. Say take 2 weeks rather than one, maybe take a month, take 2 months. Really, it does not matter how long you take. What matters is you just got to be comfortable, and you ideally try to score good in your first attempt, so you don't need to appear twice, and you can work on other things. So that was my SAT story. So why did I create an app for the SAT, or tutorials for the SAT rather? Well, something I noticed is that many people take SAT tuitions, at least in India and in the United Arab Emirates, and they are really expensive. They are almost always above $1,000 if I had to convert, and often nearing 2,000. And my friends tend to find the SAT hard, so I've always worked in giving them tips as such, but still they do tend to find it hard, and so that was my motivation. And so I realized that many other people might be finding it hard, and I found it relatively easy. So I thought maybe my approach to questions helped me. And honestly, SAT tuitions have never really paid off, at least for my friends, as in their scores have not really changed. That is to say that there are probably some really good tuitions that actually help you bump up your score, but honestly, I would not recommend paying so much for tuitions, because in the majority of the cases that I have experienced now, that's going to be about 30 to 40 people I've seen and can name, they haven't really helped as much as you would want them to. given the price. So yeah, so this is going to be pretty much a free tutorial that will talk about how I approach the questions, and maybe that will help you bump up your score, hopefully. So what am I going to cover in my tutorials? So primarily reading, writing, and the math section. So we're not gonna look at the essay. We're just gonna look at the multiple choice questions. Maybe the essay later, but reading, writing, and math are definitely going to be there. Each video is going to be divided into the theory bits and strategies, because there are some things you definitely need to know when you're doing the SAT. So we're going to cover that, and we're going to cover otherwise strategies or how you can approach a question. Some general instructions I have for you: do a diagnostic test. If you score anything under 1400, I'd recommend you go through all the videos, just so anything that could be helpful is helpful to you. Otherwise, if you're scoring, let's say 1430, 1450, 1510, you're already doing really well. And if you appear to have certain consistent areas of weaknesses, maybe just look at those videos where I've addressed those areas of weakness. And honestly, if you're already scoring exceptionally well, and by exceptionally well, I'd say 1500 and above, maybe you've got 1600 in your first diagnostic, just do as many practice tests as you can. When I say as many, I mean just do the 8 on the SAT website. But if you still need more practice, just buy an SAT book. It actually helps a lot because it does have many practice tests. I personally did the 8 on the College Board website and did pretty well for myself, or at least I would think so. Right, yeah, just practice tests are key, and if you're scoring low, maybe have a look at strategies and the theory bit of it, especially in terms of punctuation, which all will be covered in my tutorials. And I really hope I can help, and that's kind of my aim when I do this. So have a good day. Thank you.